Now let's move to the past continuous. The past continuous, which is progressive between two brackets. The use. Look at this one. Interrupted actions in the past. What do you mean by this one? Look at this one. This is the past, this is the present, and the future. The past continuous is between this time, between the past and the present. Look at this definition. Look at this one. Use the past continuous Y to indicate that a longer action in the past was interrupted. Okay? The interruption is usually by a shorter action in the simple past. Deal? Remember, this can be a real interruption or just an interruption in time. Look at me, look at me. We have two verbs or two actions. They happened in the past. One of them interrupted the others. The main verb is what? Is the past progressive, which is the longer time, okay? And the action or the verb that interrupted it is the simple past. For example, I will say, I was walking in the street when I met my old friend. The main verb here is what? The past continuous. I was walking. What was the verb or the action that interrupted me? It was when I met my friend, okay, or my old friend. Deal? That's what does he mean? Here we use the past continuous to indicate that a longer action in the past was interrupted. The interruption is usually, or do you know what this means? Interruption, it means cut. Usually by a shorter action in the simple past. Okay? Now, remember, this can be a real interruption or just an interruption in time. Deal? Now, we have, look at these examples. Last night at 6 p.m. I was eating dinner. If I want to ask you, I will ask you, for example, what were you doing last night at 6 o'clock? You will say, مثلا, I was watching TV. I was having my dinner or eating my dinner, whatever, okay? Look at number 2. At midnight, we were still driving through the desert, okay? We were driving through the desert. 3. Yesterday at this time, okay, I was sitting at my desk at work. Yesterday at this time, I was sitting at my desk at work. Okay, this is past continuous. Now, we have, parallel actions. We have the past, present, and the future. I'm going to put it on the board and explain it for you. Okay, stay with me. Now, look at this one. Look at this parallel actions. What do you mean by parallel actions? Look at these two lines. I'm going to explain it on the board now. Look, when we use the past continuous with two actions in the same sentence, what happened? It expresses the idea that both actions were happening at the same time. The actions are parallel. What do you mean by parallel? They happened at the same time. For example, look at me. This line is action number 1, and this is the action number 2. They happened at the same time, okay, in the past. Look at the example. I was studying while he was making dinner. Both of the actions happened at the same time in the past. I was studying while he was making dinner, okay? Parallel actions. You know parallel actions? They are happening at the same time in the past. While Ellen was reading, Tim was watching television. Both of the actions happened in the same time in the past. While, concentrate on this keyword, while Ellen was reading, what happened? Or we have this comma, Tim was watching television. Both of the actions, watching and reading, happened in the same time, okay? Now we're going to move to the next situation or next state. Now look at me. We have this situation. If you remember, we have taken about always, do you remember the present continuous when we talked about always as when you want to talk about something bothers you? My sister is always taking my clothes. The same idea, but this is in the past. Look here. We have repetition. You know repetition? Repeated. And irritation with always. You know what this means, irritation? It means something bothers you. You don't like this one, okay? Now, we have temporary action. This is one. Temporary habits or habits that happen more than we expect in the past. Notice it's the same idea, but in the past. That's in the present. Look here. We have, this is the situation, past, present, and future. The action or this situation happened. Look at this one. Repeated. My sister was always, for example, taking or borrowing my book, for example, okay? She repeated this action more than one time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, okay, etc. Deal? But this one in the past, okay? I mentioned to you because it's in your worksheet and I want you to understand it, okay? I believe that we are not going to concentrate on this one, okay? We are going to concentrate on the others, or the rest I'm going to explain about, okay? Stay with me now. Now, look here, girls. We have keywords. We have while and as. We are going to talk about them now. Look here. While is missing here an H. While, okay? While plus subject plus was or were plus verb ing, comma, subject plus verb to. When you see while, you are going to. As I told you before, we have two actions. One of them interrupted the others. The main verb is the past continuous, and the action that interrupted the main verb is the simple past, okay? Look here, we're going to apply the rule. Look here. While, this is while. The subject I, this is the subject. Was or were, was. Walking, the verb ing. In the street, what happened? I, this is the main action. And the action that interrupted me, what was it? This is what I met my old friend. This is the simple past of meet, okay? Meet, met. Deal? Okay, now let's move to as. As, the same idea. As plus subject plus was or were plus verb ing, comma, subject plus verb to. As he, this is as, he, the subject, was doing his homework, verb ing, okay? What happened? The door bell rang. This is irregular, okay? The door bell rang. This is the simple past, or the verb that interrupted the main verb. The main verb, he was doing his homework, and the verb that, or the action that interrupted him, the doorbell rang, okay? We're going to move to the third keyword. Stay with me, please. Now, let's move to the third keyword. We have this one, when. When you see when, my girls, what are you going to do? Look at me here. When you see when, all the time, after when, we have simple past. What do we have? Simple past. What do we have? Simple past. Look here. We have when plus subject plus verb to. Is it? It's okay. For the light, okay? Plus verb to, okay? And we have subject plus was or were plus verb ing. Look at this one. When we, look here. When, this is the keyword when, we visited, simple past, be careful, or verb to, or past simple, whatever. When we visited them, they, this is the subject, they weren't, okay, having their dinner. Deal? They weren't having their dinner. Now, the third keyword we're going to talk about is when. When, remember, after when we have what? We have simple past or verb to. After when, what do we have? Verb to. What do we have? Verb to or past simple. Look at this one. When plus subject plus verb to, comma, subject plus was or were plus verb ing. This is the rule. Look at this one. We are going to apply it. We have when. This is the keyword. We visited, past simple or verb to, okay? Visited them. They weren't having their dinner. We applied the rule. Subject plus was or were plus having their dinner, okay? After when we put simple past or past simple or verb to, it's the opposite of while. Be careful. After when we have simple past, okay? Let's move to the exercise or the examples on the worksheet. Now, let's move to the forms of it. Now, we have the affirmative form. What do you mean by affirmative? Without adding not or question, okay? Without negative or interrogative. We have I, he, she, it goes with was plus verb ing. They, you, we plus were plus verb ing. Look at this example. Look here. We have also the negative form. She was not playing. They were not eating. We added the not, this one, okay, to what? To the, what word is, what's here? To the helping verb. We added to the helping verb, okay? We added to the helping verb. She wasn't playing. They weren't eating. They weren't eating. We added to the helping verb here. Deal? That's all. Now we're going to make a question. We're going to make a question. How is that? Look at me. We're going to invert. For example, we say, was she... I'm going to write it now. Stay with me, please. Stay with me. Stay. Now we have the interrogative or the question form. Okay? What are we going to do? We are going to start with the helping verb was. Was plus he or she or it, which is the pronoun, or I plus verb ing. Was she cooking? Was he playing? Okay? Now we're going to move to where. Where goes with they, you, we, plus verb ing. We say, were they watching TV? Were you studying your exam? Okay? The same idea. Deal? Okay? Let's move to the examples. Stay with me. Now, look at these examples. We are going to finish this class today and revise the rules here. Look here. While I was watching TV, what happened? Or they were, do you know, remember the parallel actions? My mother was cooking. Look here. Why is the key word? I is the subject. Was plus verb ing, past continuous. What happened? The same time, my mother was cooking. Both of these actions happened in the past, but in the same time. They are parallel actions, okay? Number 2, Joe wasn't playing when I called him. Look at this one. Joe is the subject. Wasn't playing is the past continuous. When, if you remember when I told you, after when we have simple past, be careful. When, this is the key word, I called him. What did we do? We added or the verb in the past simple or verb to. Deal? When I called him. The last example, they weren't eating when we visited them. They, this is the past continuous, they weren't eating, we put here, if you notice the, not the negative, when we visited them. When, after when, the keyword when, we put verb to, okay? Now, as for today, we have taken about the keywords of the past continuous. We've also taken about the keywords, the form of the past continuous with the questions, with the questions, negative and affirmative. And we also recall the simple past or the past simple in the beginning. This is all for today. Thank you for being with me. Goodbye.